Nationals, there's lots of work going on in John Force's pit area. Under the capable direction of crew chief Austin Coyle, the crew preparing the race car for the second round of racing in Funny Car Eliminator coming up in a few moments. Right now, we're back to round number 2 in Top Fuel Eliminator, and it is Joe Amato against Ray Stutz. Running a 5.20 in the first round of eliminations. That's the quickest time of the day thus far. Joe Amato earned the right to select the lane. He picked the lane the furthest from the camera. Jack Ostrander fell to the onslaught of Joe Amato in round number 1. Joe qualified in the number 2 spot with a 5.16. Racing against him now is Ray Stutz, the driver of the Gunite Express, who in round number 1 raced Eddie Hill. Hill had qualified in the number 6 spot and had to be considered the favorite against the number 14 qualified Ray Stutz. As we ride with Eddie Hill and look back, you see the car went up in smoke. Hill tried to recover, but Stutz was too far ahead and took the win. Our onboard camera showed you graphic evidence of what happens when those big tires lose traction. For Eddie Hill, it cost him that first round race and gave Ray Stutz the break to race against Joe Amato. I guess it could be considered a break when you think about Amato being the quickest car thus far in eliminations. Stutz in the near lane. A good start. And Joe Amato easily outdistances Ray Stutz. A 5.18 second elapsed time. His speed over 273 miles an hour. And the TRW special of Joe Amato marches into the semifinals. This is Darrell Gwynn, the winner at Seattle, and the holder of the national record at 5.05 second elapsed time. He qualified here in the number 5 spot and has just watched Joe Amato run that 5.18 in that lane for low elapsed time of eliminations. Racing against Gwynn is the number 1 qualifier. This is Gene Snow from Fort Worth, Texas. Like Amato, Snow is on the cutting edge of Top Fuel technology, utilizing the direct drive total clutch management principle. Let's go to the far end. Steve is with Joe Amato.
Well, just when 5.30s and high 20s look good, a 5.18. Joe, low ET of the day.
Well, Steve, Tim Richards and the guys are doing an outstanding job. You know, hopefully we can just keep continuing on and win this race.
Okay, Joe Amato headed for the semis.
Amato paying tribute to his crew chief, Tim Richards. Back on the starting line, Darrell Gwynn testing the traction available on a second burnout. Gwynn generally runs well if he has no tire smoke on the dry burnout. Gwynn defeated Top Fuel newcomer Lordy Johns in round number 1, while Gene Snow defeated Earl Whiting in his first round race. While Snow's Amalie Oil Special had the number 1 qualifying spot at a 5.14, his performance in that first round faded just a bit to a 5.32. Meantime, the Budweiser Special of Gwynn ran a 5.23. That gave Gwynn the choice of lanes. Gene Snow having problems at the finish line. Darrell Gwynn stayed ahead and crossed first with a 5.25, 266-mile-an-hour charge. There's a happy young man as he heads into the semifinals. Gwynn's opponent in the final 4 of Top Fuel will be Frank Bradley, and that 5.25 consistent in the 5.20s. Darrell Gwynn has the lane choice. Joe Amato has the lane choice over Shirley Muldowney in the other pair of the Top Fuel semifinals. On the starting line, here comes Pro Stock Eliminator, round number 2. These cars, powered by 500 cubic inch gasoline burning engines, start as an original factory bodied race car, but they are very sophisticated machines and cover the quarter mile at over 185 miles an hour. Kenny Koretsky, qualified in the number 7 spot, beat Don Campanello in the first round, while Jerry Ekman defeated Butch Leal from his number 3 qualifying spot. Ekman in the Pennzoil Pontiac has the choice of lanes. He takes the lane furthest from the camera, while the Exxon Superflow Camaro of Kenny Koretsky slowly approaches the starting line to begin the staging procedure. Both cars will pull forward until the 2 lights on the top of the Christmas tree are both lit. That indicates to the starter the drivers are ready for the activation of the Christmas tree. It is Jerry Ekman with a 7.55 second elapsed time. His speed over 183 miles an hour. Ekman moves into the semifinals. Similarly painted bright yellow, this is the team of Tom, Dick, and Harry, the Scribner brothers. Harry Scribner drives that Chevy Camaro. He is racing against Warren Johnson. Scribner qualified number 6 and defeated Mark Powick in the first round, while Warren Johnson was the number 2 qualifier, and in round number 1, he beat Joe Lapone Jr. The AC Delco Oldsmobile of Johnson, formerly a resident of Duluth, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis, now hailing from Duluth, Georgia. Scribner out of Simi Valley, California. Decisively defeating Scribner, a 7.47 second elapsed time, one of the quickest of eliminations. His speed over 184 miles an hour. In Shirley Muldowney's pit area, crew chief Ron Dobler getting the engine ready for the race against Joe Amato, coming up at the Quaker State Northstar Nationals. Nationals at Brainerd International Raceway. We're in round number 2 of Pro Stock Eliminator, and this is Don Beverly. For 22 straight races, Beverly was unable to qualify, and then at the California Nationals, he was runner-up to Harry Scribner. Racing against him at the wheel of the A&B Automotive Chevrolet Beretta, this is Tony Christian, winner of the Mid-South Nationals down in Memphis, Tennessee earlier this season. Here in the first round, Tony Christian defeated Jeff Bailey. From his number 8 qualifying spot, Don Beverly defeated the number 16 qualifier, John Brumley. The incredible close competition that has developed in Pro Stock Eliminator over the last couple of years has forced all the drivers to improve on their driving, because races are routinely won or lost by virtue of the reaction time on the starting line. Beverly reacts first to the green light. Tony Christian drives by for the win. The elapsed time, a 7.49 second run, and Tony Christian had the power in the middle of the course to give him the win. You see there, Don Beverly reacted quicker to the green light. He left that starting line ahead of Tony Christian by about 0.04 of a second. Then, as they passed the midway point of the racetrack, it was all Tony Christian. He pulled up alongside of Don Beverly, pulled ahead of him, and when they crossed the finish line a 1/4 of a mile away, that was the margin of victory.
Well, everybody said this morning that to win in Pro Stock here at Brainerd, you'd have to be in the 740s. Tony Christian, you are 749.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Warren won a 747. I got him next round, but I can't lose with this on.
The secret weapon.
The Butch Leal.
Looking for a hole shot, obviously, is Tony Christian.
I'm driving bad.
Christian wearing his Butch Leal t-shirt, showing a great deal of respect for Leal's starting line driving ability. Here's the number 1 qualifier, the Motorcraft Thunderbird of Bob Glidden. We're going to be riding with Glidden in this round of competition. In the first round, he defeated Morris Johnson Jr. His opponent will be Kenny Delco, who upset the defending Northstar champion, Bruce Allen, in the first round. Delco has had a season of peaks and valleys, the biggest valley coming when his own race car was destroyed in a towing accident, today driving a car of Carl Fisher. As Glidden sits behind the wheel of the Thunderbird, his right hand rests on the shifting mechanism of the planetary gearbox. No need to hit the clutch to change the gears in this car. He's off the starting line. There's the first gear change, the second, and the third. He's in high gear. And he's ahead across the finish line. Bob Glidden wins it. He slows the car with a parachute. 7.47 second is the elapsed time. And Bob Glidden moves into the semifinals. Glidden will be racing Jerry Ekman, and that 7.47 earned him the lane choice. The other pair in the semifinals, Tony Christian against Warren Johnson, with Johnson's Oldsmobile having the choice of lanes. This is Scott Coletta, And this is round number 2 of Funny Car Eliminator at the Northstar National. Coletta's competitor for this side-by-side challenge is Bruce Larson. A crowd of 40,000, the largest ever to view a drag race here at spacious Brainerd International Raceway, watching intently as Scott Coletta, who qualified in the number 8 spot, defeated Darrell Amberson in the first round. His competitor, Bruce Larson, beat Ed McCulloch in an upset in that first round of racing. A crewman making a final check of the instrumentation in the Sentry TAC engages Oldsmobile of Bruce Larson, while Scott Coletta is ready to go. Good start. Problems for Larson, and the Coletta Flying Services Oldsmobile wins it. Scott Coletta with a 567 advances to the semifinals. We'll be right back at the Northstar Nationals.